Welcome to Second Listen Saturday on the Parenting Roundabout podcast, where we share some fun moments from a past episode for your weekend listening pleasure. Look for new episodes every Monday through Friday.
Today we are worrying and complaining about how much these kids are costing us. There's an article on Investopedia.com about how much it costs to raise kids. And first of all, the naivete of some parents struck me because there's a line in this article that says, according to the poll, they're reporting about a poll, 18% of parents thought it would cost $1,000 or less to raise their baby for the first year.
Oh my
Another
God.
36% put the price tag at between $1,000 and $5,000.
In all
What are
fairness-
these people smoking?
Well,
Really?
I mean, they're living in a cave and they're catching all their food and, picking berries. So, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I mean,
Good for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you can
I
get
mean,
a
are
cab
they
home from the
thinking
hospital
that-
for that.
Are they thinking that, like, oh, we already bought all of the gear, so therefore all we have to do is feed them? I don't know, because think of all the crap you have to buy when you have a baby.
Well, they had a baby shower and people gave them stuff, and so they're set.
They're all set. They're good to go.
Got a couple of jumbo boxes of diapers, and they're it's good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Not even close.
That is some delusion happening right there in my...
Yeah, as I just got a bill from my health insurance company from my son, who decided that he was, having a cardiac arrest and while we were away. And
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure he just overexerted himself. And he went down to the emergency room where they hooked him up to a EKG and did all kinds of tests on his heart. And, it just turned out that it was just beating a little faster than usual.
Oh my!
And now we've got $1,000 bill for our copay.
Oh goodness!
I know, right?
Oh jeez!
Yeah.
And we were away, so he didn't, we didn't really.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if it's his heart, of course, we're going to be like, okay, you got to take care of that. But
Yeah.
there might have been some cheaper options.
Go down to the drugstore and stick your arm in that blood pressure cuff. Yeah, I got the bill for, remember my son sprained his wrist on
Yes.
the last day of school.
Yeah.
And just for the brace that he wore for 2 days, it was $65.
Oh.
I'm like, couldn't I have wrapped it with an ace bandage that I already have?
Yeah.
I needed to buy this brace. Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was just for the brace. I mean, that doesn't
Right.
count the x-ray and the office visit and all that good stuff. So,
Yep.
Mhm.
whoa.
So many, very many expenses.
Yeah.
One can't
Yeah.
even imagine when your kids are little what all they will be.
I remember when my kids were going into kindergarten, when my second child was starting kindergarten, and I was like, woohoo, free public school, which equals free babysitting, because they had
Yes.
been in childcare that I had been paying for
Yeah.
the previous, 8 years for
Mhm.
one or the other of them. But what I quickly learned was that, school is not free, first of all, and other things just come along to fill that gap,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
extracurriculars and the fact that they, I don't know, go through clothes faster, or they eat more, or they do things like
Yeah.
sprain their wrist and you have to buy them a brace.
Uh-huh.
It just, when you finish with one expense, there's always another one
Yes.
waiting.
Right.
I guess is what I mean.
That is true. All the way
And
up.
you can't ever anticipate.
Right. A lot of them you can't.
My husband, who has very little involvement in our family budget, decided one year or one that he would like to be more involved.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, that didn't last long. But anyway, but he says, let's make a budget for all of our anticipated expenses through the year.
Uh-huh.
And this is when both of my kids were in elementary school. And
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, right. I mean, I just was like floored. How can you?
Yes.
I mean, you can never anticipate startup school expenses and then, photo expenses and club expenses.
Yeah.
If your child is joining extracurriculars, things cost differently as they age.
Yeah.
Gas going to and from these places these venues. It's just impossible. How do you predict that?
Yeah. Now, all these activities we want our kids involved in, we talked recently about, so we can live vicariously through them or whatever. But, that stuff all costs so much, even beyond. I mean, you figure, okay, I'm going to put my kid in dance classes, and here's the weekly charge. And, well, that's a lot, but okay, this will be a good thing. But then there's the costume, and there's the tickets, and there's the this, and there's that. And pretty soon it's this huge money suck for your kid to go out there and kind of clod around for a little while. Any sport, if they're good in it, it gets expensive quickly. If they're not good in it, it still costs money. So it's, and these are the things that you want. This isn't like an injury. This is the stuff that you actively pursue. Oh, yes, I want my child to be in high school marching band so badly. Excellent. Here's all the things you have to buy. And, we need these shoes from this place and this shirt from that place. And, there's parent society dues, and there's the money for the trips, and there's the money for this and the money for that. And, oh, by the way, does she have an instrument? Those we don't give out for free. Oh, probably lessons would be good. So it's like you want very much for them to have these experiences, but it becomes more of an investment oftentimes than you can really justify.
Yeah.
As I'm sure the skating's free, right, Catherine?
Oh, yeah.
No expenses associated with that.
Yeah, like that $1,000 for a whole year to raise a baby. That's one pair of good figure skates,
Exactly. Oh, and then all the private lessons that go along with that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
So much. And yet you would not want to say no. And sometimes we talk our kids into doing the thing that is then going to be expensive.
Yeah.
They were trying to do our budget a solid, and we're like, no. We want to spend all that money, please.
Yeah. No, I don't think parents realize. And then not to mention, you've got all your immediate costs, but then you've also got to save for long term, like their educational costs, right?
Yeah.
So while you're taking all this money and setting it aside for birthdays and clothes and school supplies, you also have to set aside a whole other chunk of money for school, which seems impossible some days.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a long time ahead to think, and then when you get there, so soon. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I should have done something different here. Should have taken that tap dance money and put it into a college fund.
And I also, now that my kids are teenagers, I struggle, and I think we've talked a little bit about this before, what do I pay for? What do I expect them to pay for? And the thing is, only one of them has any sort of source of income. So, do I expect her to pay for more things because she actually does have some of her own money? But
Right.
then the younger one, should he be doing more chores at home to earn more money, to earn some of the stuff that he wants? The thing is, he doesn't want a lot. He's
Right.
not like a
I have the
clothes
same
horse
situation.
like she is.
Yeah.
And it's not like she's making, she makes $9 an hour. Like, it's not, it doesn't amount to all that much. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've had that problem now. My kids both have aged out of our health insurance, and yet neither of them is working at a job that provides it, or even a full-time, they're nowhere near a full-time job. They're not making that much money. I'm very happy that they're employed at all. So, we had to look for insurance. I wanted them to be able to at least pay their own insurance. They don't contribute to the household in any way. They don't have any other expenses, so they can at least, pay for their health insurance. But for my son to do that, we had to find the one that's the lowest payment, and then all your medical expenses you have to pay for until you get to a certain level. So, we'll pay for all his medical expenses so that he can pay for the super cheap insurance. Meanwhile, my daughter is making enough that she can pay for her insurance and for most of her copays, but she has, one set of medical expenses that, are necessary, but way outside what she could pay. So we pay those as well. And it's I want them to pay enough so that they feel like they have the responsibility, and then I feel like I'm sneaking in from behind and paying everything else. So they can feel good about themselves. It's
Right.
No, honey, you're doing that. Pay no attention to this pile of bills over here. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
No, I feel guilty when I ask for, when I say, okay, maybe you can pay your cell phone bill, or maybe you can contribute to this or contribute to that. I feel so guilty, and it's oh my gosh.
I do too.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. All I know is it's not $1,000 to raise your child.
No, that is hilarious. It's, there's predictable expenses that are more than that, much less the unpredictable ones. And, and there's things that parents today have to provide that parents in the past didn't, like computers and, other high-tech things, cell phones. Yeah. I wonder what the equivalent of those things was when we were a kid, because I bet when we were kids, our parents were complaining about the expenses of things also. I can't quite imagine what those would have been, though.
When we were kids?
Yeah. What expenses that parents of a previous generation didn't have to? I guess TV, actually. We might have been, I might have been in the first generation that grew up from extremely young childhood with a TV being an expected item.
Yeah. I mean, a bike.
Yeah.
Bike was usually a big ticket item.
Right.
It was kind of extra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do kids still ride bikes?
A little.
Yeah.
A little bit.
They just call Uber now.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth?
They call an Uber bike that comes in, they hop on the back, and somebody bikes them while they play with their phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always something.
It is. Well,
it's free.
Yeah.
This podcast.
This podcast.
There you go. Just tell your child next time they ask for something expensive. Sorry, honey, we don't have that right now, but here, listen to a podcast. That'll go.
It's free. On your very expensive AirPods.
That's right.
That's totally going to be a
it's an
college
imperfect
expense
system.
for my daughter, because whenever we visited campuses, she was like, I would be the only person here without AirPods if I don't get some.
Oh, man.
Oh, she'll have them before college, guaranteed. She's going to have them soon.
This is the new embarrassing poverty on college campuses. I am the only kid without AirPods.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, God bless them.
Totally. I felt embarrassed on my flight coming back from Europe with my little Bluetooth earbuds.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't embarrassed, but, whatever. But I did notice that I was, definitely not with it.
And this is why I never leave my house.
I was definitely not setting any trends with my Bluetooth earbuds that went around my neck, the back of my neck. And at this big control thing on it. Anyways.
I just can't imagine where our kids get these.
Yeah.